Applications used within the project from user perspective are very heterogeneous. At the beginning of the project in the deliverable D3.1, these applications were divided into 13 groups. However, from technical point of view, all applications more or less have similar skeleton. Based on this, we created a set of generic requirements that application has to satisfy in order to be ported to the infrastructure and exposed through the RESTful interface. Generic application agApp has to provide command line interface and has to be fully configurable through this interface. Results of the application have to be redirected to the standard output, while eventual errors go to standard output for errors. Applications usually also produce the dataset, a set of files generated and stored in the same format. But in majority of the cases, applications perform specific transformations of input datasets and in this way create output datasets. If application satisfies these general requirements, the next step is porting to the Linux operating system, which is commonly used on all distributed infrastructures available today. Fortunately, applications within the project are usually developed in Java programming language, so they are smoothly ported to the Linux environment. Since the application has to be automatically configured, in the next step we equip it with the wrapper, which is responsible for provisioning input parameters and initial datasets and collecting standard outputs and output datasets. Application equipped with the wrapper is called module. The wrapper itself interacts with document-oriented database from where it is able to retrieve application inputs, but also to register application outputs. To be able to do this, the database has to be aware that new application is available. This is realized in the next step where application is ported to the document-oriented framework called agCouchDB. agCouchDB relies on CouchDB technology, which is extended to include agINFRA specific document design, proxy layer, and agINFRA daemon. The design defines the structure of the documents stored in the database, while proxy layer is responsible for the authentication and tracking of the changes. It significantly simplifies updates of the document in the database. agDaemon is responsible for many things, such as robot certificate renewal, validation of document structure, provision of datasets through HTTP protocol, submission of data processing jobs to the infrastructure, upload of external datasets, etc. Practically, porting of the new application to the agCouchDB is quite simple and is reduced to creation of process document. Such document has to define name of the process, version, input parameters, type, format of initial and produced dataset. Structure of the document is flexible and can be extended to include additional properties. Once the connection between the application wrapped in the module and agCouchDB is established, the module is ready to be ported to the distributed infrastructure. For project purposes, grid infrastructure contributed by the technical partners is organized around vo.aginfra.eu virtual organization. The porting to such an environment only requires provision of the wrapped application in the software stack of the virtual organization at each grid site within the infrastructure. The same procedure can be applied for all other kinds of the distributed computing infrastructures. The process of porting ends with registration of ported application. agINFRA developers are made aware of new application via agCouchDB, while the users from the agricultural community are informed via ring. Additionally, in order to enable grid schedulers to locate new application in the infrastructure, the application is also registered in the grid information system. Since agINFRA applications are usually of broad interest to grid community, they are registered in the EGI app database as well.